Mobile detailing a GLC 300 coupe. This Mercedes is gonna get a ceramic coating, but first, we need to give it some love. We're gonna foam on incredible suds, and then we're gonna do the hybrid wash with rinseless wash. Let me show you what it is we're doing here and why you should care. Take a look at all the residue in these emblems. We're gonna have to address that. Kind of that mineral buildup. These barrels look a little dicey. One area of concern here is just how nasty this grill is. We have to be realistic with expectations. What can we really do to make this grill kind of shine? Obviously, it's just gonna keep getting dirty again. We've talked about maybe doing some trim, restore, and protect up here. Again, this is a pre-coating wash. And then up into here, yeah, it's nasty as well. There's kind of a combination of trim and then these like plastic chrome looking pieces. We suggested just doing quick beads after the washes to kind of keep those looking nice. I don't think we're gonna try to ceramic coat every little nook and cranny. We could, but we're going to probably be realistic with that. And then you can see into here how dirty it is. Into here, obviously, all of the dirt just wants to hang out on each little edge of each little corner of this trim. So it's kind of a where does it end rabbit hole. We're gonna address as much of this as we can in the wash, and then we're gonna ceramic coat, obviously, the big parts of this, this front bumper, but we're probably not gonna go after this with coating. We probably will on a brush with trim, restore, and protect, but that's not for this video. Just kind of laying out the map of what we wanna accomplish on this ceramic coating prep, incredibly thorough decontamination wash. Just a quick lay of the land. It is raining out. We didn't just wash this. It's a washed vehicle. It gets taken care of well. Obviously Eric is a viewer of the channel, and so what we're looking at is a very well taken care of ride. However, we're gonna see stuff when we wash, decontaminate, or we're gonna wanna polish eventually. The goal here is just a incredibly deep clean, whether you're polishing or ceramic coating, to get this vehicle exfoliated and ready for the next steps. Just preparing with the wash bucket here, a couple of water spot removers that we could both use, a bottle of iron remover, and then in the wash bucket, we've got 2 decontamination towels, kind of an OG decon towel, and then our new quad fold decon towel. We have the Perfectly Safe brush, 2 legacy sponges. Today's gonna be a fun hybrid wash. Of course, we have the Ego pressure washer. It's cord free. Let me run you through the setup that we're gonna do here. We're gonna run it through regular water to do a foam cannon with incredible suds, type 2. That's gonna be step 1. And then I've got rinseless wash in here. We're then gonna put the hose in here. The rinse off stage is gonna have rinseless wash from DIY Detail, and that's gonna actually rinse all the foam off and lay rinseless wash down for extra lubrication for the wash step. We also have Ragnarok wheel wash, and this is going to be for our wheels. All these products you can find on thehouseofrags.com. Just use promo code NICK@night to save 10%. If you're enjoying this content, it's a nice, easy way to get a great deal and say thank you at the same time. Okay, Eric, here we are in your driveway yet again.
Yes.
You're the enthusiast. You care so much about detailing products. You've got DIY Detail in there. We ceramic coated your wife's Volkswagen Bug, and here we are to do it yet again.
We're doing it again, yes.
And I was like, let's just do a basic wash video. Like, how do you wash the dang car from start to finish? A proper decontamination wash. Here are my thoughts. Normally I do iron remover and all clean on the wheels. I left my gallon of all clean at home. This is the House of Rags YouTube channel, so we're actually gonna use Ragnarok wheel wash. I've got it in here straight, so you can find it at thehouseofrags.com if you'd like. We're gonna try this on the wheels first. We saw how nasty the barrels were. Then we're gonna foam the car up, and then we're gonna rinse it down. Then we'll probably use iron remover before we do the wheels. So we're gonna do the wheels first. It's a nice cloudy day, and we'll leave the rinseless wash on the surface after we've taken the incredible suds off. So the incredible suds first is to get the grit off. Safely remove it without any agitation, and then we're gonna rinse it off. So we're just gonna let the chemicals and the process work for us. Then we're gonna do our contact wash. You're gonna get to try the Perfectly Safe brush, our decontamination towel, our iron remover. We're gonna do the whole 9 yards. Do you have any questions about kind of a thorough basic wash here?
No, I am just going to follow you, Nick, and see how it goes.
We're gonna put you to work. I'm gonna do the acid because this is a pretty powerful chemical here. Powerful wheel cleaner made with acidic surfactants. So here we go. So essentially this is my acid, no agitation pre-treat. 2 wheels at a time, so just one side of the vehicle. No chance I'm letting this dry. Then I hose it off. Then I'm gonna proceed with iron remover and clean these wheels as usual. So now that I've got the wheel cleaner off, I think I'm just actually gonna do wheel cleaning the way I normally would, which is, let's get the iron remover on there now. See, we're getting that purple. I like to see the purple. We'll then foam on the incredible suds. We'll do that kind of creamsicle look. Iron remover can dry on your paint, not a big deal, especially in a cloudy day. I'm not worried about it at all. We got these German brakes to contend with. The rotors are obviously looking very purple, which is a good sign. Even if that dries, not a big deal. We'll do the acid on the other side, then we'll foam the entire ride. So now we're gonna foam on incredible suds. This is incredible suds type 2. And you know what to do. We just wanna get the foam everywhere on the wheels. Maybe start on the wheels and whatever, just paint. You know what to do.
I'll start on the wheels. What did I miss, Nick?
Just a little bit, that's funny. Now I'm Ivan and you're Nick. Just on the lowers area, you just don't forget you could hit that a little bit.
Okay.
Looking great. I think we should just hit the entire vehicle. Let's just foam it all down. Because we're gonna foam and we're gonna rinse right away. So this is just helping us bring everything off the surface. So just paint the whole canvas white. We've got Josh V's Quiver Flex hose here, also available at thehouseofrags.com. It's a 50-foot hose, I believe, and really long. So it's kind of nice if you're making your way around a vehicle. You used the whole foam can without even hitting the whole car. I love it. Ivan would be proud. All right, let's refill some incredible suds and finish this off. What do you say?
Excellent.
Yeah, we can see kind of the creamsicle foam coming on the ground here. So that's the iron remover on the wheels, and then the incredible suds working it off there. Yeah, I don't think I've ever used a whole foam can and not got the whole car, so I'm proud of you, Eric. And that's probably too much product. Great. I don't always get the best foam from this Ego cord-free pressure washer, this cordless pressure washer. I think it does a nice job. It's just, sometimes it comes out a little blotchy and uneven just because of the way the
Well, I don't even own one, so that was my first time ever using it.
All right, let me finish this off real quick.
Yeah,
I want to have fun too. Yeah.
Wow, look at those. See, now that is what I was looking for.
Oh, it's come cleaner?
Yes.
We haven't even agitated it yet.
No, but that is why they weren't shiny.
Basically, we just want to rinse all this stuff off, and then we're going to apply the Rinseless. So we haven't done any contact washing. We've pulled a lot of stuff off so far. So the thing is, I'm just going to take this little filter off of my pressure washer cord hose, and I'm putting this in my Rinseless wash bucket. So it might take a second to prime, but I've got Rinseless wash 256-1 in here. So now we're putting Rinseless wash and rinsing at the same time. Kind of the double whammy that I like with this setup. So Eric, we've rinsed off the vehicle, but it now has Rinseless wash on the surface. So we've kind of done 2 in 1. Are you ready to use the perfectly safe brush? Do you want to use the Legacy sponge? We're gonna Rinseless wash this now. We had fun with foam. There's a lot of rinsing involved.
A little too much fun.
It's not super efficient. Like, when I'm in a mobile job and I'm trying to get it done, which again, we're trying to polish a ceramic coat today, use adhesion promoter polish. We have a lot of steps left. There's a lot of real estate, black paint. We want to be efficient with our time. So I like to do the hybrid method if I'm going to foam. What do you want to use?
Whatever you recommend, Nick.
I think you could grab the Legacy sponge or the perfectly safe brush. Someone needs to do the roof.
Okay.
So your choice.
Show me exactly how that is new to the market, you said?
Yeah, it's not available as of this recording. It's sold out, and we're hoping it's back in stock soon, but TBD on a release date. But we've got this in our Rinseless wash bucket. We've got the flag tip brushes here, very soft. You want it sopping wet, and you just do basically 1 panel at a time. So with the perfectly safe brush, since we don't have two sides of the brush, you would, if you had two sides of your sponge, you could flip your sponge, but here we're just using the brush. We've already got all the grit off, right? And if you're like, I'm just a little nervous, do I want to like redunk? I'm never gonna fault you for redunking your sponge or redunking your perfectly safe brush. So it's just kind of like this, and I can go ahead and do the roof for us, which is such a time saver, but it's also wonderful. You can do the windshield, you can do the hood. It's also wonderful for lower panels, so you don't have to bend down and you can make sure, but let's do those last, right? It's always a nice practice. Do your lower panels last, they're gonna have the nastiest stuff on there. You can go ahead and do the windshield and the hood, and I can use the Legacy sponge here to go ahead and wash the side.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. As with everything detailing, as with everything DIY detail, the whole message here is no pressure. And if it feels like, this doesn't feel super safe, maybe I should redunk, that's when you redunk. Just very simple. And I'm using one side per panel of my sponge. I'm gonna count the windows there, the glass, as part of this panel. Again, we've been so safe with the first part of this wash that I can go ahead and do that. How does it feel using the brush, Eric?
I like the brush a lot better.
So I'll give you full permission to do as much as you want. It's really fun to do like the front grille with the brush. So how about I take this side and you can go to town doing whatever you want on the front bumper and that side. Because I've already got these two panels, so I'll just keep on going here. So I was worried that maybe the acid had etched the rotors. I was like, oh my gosh, go forward and back, forward and back. And again, when you go forward and back, you put your foot on the brake, all that, iron remover, orange stuff on the rotors disappears. Whew, I can't not be honest. So I was like, if I mess this up, I'll take responsibility. So I forgot where we had done yet. So I haven't done the front fender, but I've done every part of the side, the roof. You've done the hood and the window. So if you want to do the rest with the perfectly safe brush,
sure,
you can go ahead and do that. I would work top to bottom, but do the lowers with this. Tell me how you feel when you...
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing the front here.
I'll do the front right here.
And you're getting into all of those...
Getting in all the nooks and crannies.
How does that feel?
It's very smooth.
I'm seeing what looks like some road paint on the bumper here, and instead of trying to get that with the decontamination towel, that can actually kind of mess up your towel if you get a bunch of road paint in it. So I just want to address it before that. It's actually coming off with my thumb, and I'm only doing my thumb on your plastic trim. I would never just take my thumb to your paint. But that's one thing, is like, you don't really want to mess around with tar or paint getting into your decontamination towel. That's just one time where it could kind of gunk the towel up, and if you're not careful, you don't notice the gunk in your decontamination towel, and then you end up marring the paint. Now, we are going to be polishing after this, but again, this is our famous perforated synthetic decontamination towel. This is our first iteration, and then, of course, that's not available anymore because we innovated with the quad fold decontamination towel, which I'll let you use here, Eric, today. Here's the bucket. You keep dunking. Any thoughts on the perfectly safe brush so far?
No thoughts at all yet. Still working on it, but it's...
So how does it, and again, no pressure at all, and
Nope.
and it's getting into all those nooks and crannies, yeah?
Yes, that's why I enjoy this quite a bit.
And you could actually put less effort into it, Eric, and not even bend down. You could just stand up with easy posture.
Turn it up there.
And you could just kind of let it.
I'm trying to get under. There's a little bit of a hook under here.
There's a little bit of a lip there.
Yeah. So trying
I
to
see what you're doing.
Trying to get all that out of there. And then, as you know, these probably have to go cross-hatch.
Yeah. You're a detailer, you know that. Because if you just hit it one time, it's like, oh, it's clean, and it's not clean. Because when those dry up, we all know, they look good now, right?
Looks great now, but when it dries up, and then under here.
Under there, and then I would definitely dunk that after you've hit that lower.
So I think, and then just inside here.
Yep.
That is what it was so difficult to get. And on the top of here.
And if it's getting too crazy for you, we have our wheel and body brush, which does a nice job. In fact, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to get the bulk of it out.
Absolutely. I'm putting you to work as much as you want to go to work, Eric.
What side are we on?
All right, so we've done that. So I would just hit the front fender all the way to the back, and I'll meet you. I'll do the rear hatch if you can do the side and the windows.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna, for redundancy's sake, just because I'm a little more nimble with this brush. No pressure, but this is the wheel and body brush, also available on the houseofrags.com from DIY Detail. I'll put links to everything we're using here in the description of this video. But yeah, we just want to get into. Boy, this trim actually looked like it cleaned up pretty nice down here. And again, I know Eric already got it, but I have a smaller tool here. I can be a little more precise. Make sure that we don't miss anything. This is a paint safe brush as well. Not to be confused with the other PSB, the perfectly safe brush, but this is our wheel and body brush. So Eric's getting the side, doing a great job. I'm gonna meet you by, actually if you could do this this window as well when you get here, I guess.
Okay.
You don't need to do it now. And I'll do the rear. If for some reason it starts to dry up on you a little bit, just re-wet the area with Rinseless. And that's a great way to do it. We're re-wetting the paint with Rinseless. That way I'm gonna have a very safe, lubricated wash. Eric's doing a great job getting the windows. I already got the rear hatch. You can kind of see where I've gone because there's swipe marks.
You're correct.
Could you get under, kind of down into there? Yeah, and like under these plastics.
Sure thing.
Perfect. And at this point, what's great is we're not worried about this drying on the surface, right? Because of the rinseless wash, even though we're using your hose water, probably high TDS, Park City, Utah, it's not gonna leave water spots. It'll leave what's called these little polymer spots. Those come off real easy. We're gonna be decontaminating after this as well, so not a concern.
Can I use this in the crevice right here?
Absolutely, go for it, yeah.
So I can go right.
Yep. And if you're feeling like that's just too big of a sledgehammer, I also have our wheel and body brush here if you'd like to use that as well.
Well, I'd like to get it into the crevice first.
Yep. And if you notice when I was pressure washing, you know, I know it's not too much PSI. I got real close with my pressure washer tip into those seals, you know, into those cracks between the body panels, just to see if I could work away a lot of the dirt. So I like what you're doing here. Redundant, trying to make sure we get all the little extras. So if you've been watching Nick at Night, you've noticed that I like Ragnarok wheel wash for all these areas that have this stubborn mineral buildup around the emblem. So I just don't want this to dry, but I am gonna use that on the 4MATIC and also on the GLC 300. And we're just gonna not expect miracles. I mean, this is not the strongest wheel acid in the game, but it is a wheel acid. So what worked really well on his bug last week was doing a few repeated applications of this. So again, this is the perfectly safe brush. No, it's the wheel and body brush. And as Eric mentioned on that front grill, we go up and down, we can go left to right. We can go, you know, diagonal, we can go diagonal. We can do different circles. The whole idea is one, to leverage a very safe brush with no pressure and the chemical to kind of work.
You want me to go over that, Nick?
What's that?
Do you want me to go over that?
No, I wouldn't mess with the perfectly safe brush.
Okay.
This has been the brush I've been using for that. I think this is our scalpel. We've used our sledgehammer to do an easy wash. Let's just let this work for us. I'm gonna hit the other emblem as well while we're waiting. And I'm just using my rinseless wash keg, so I'm just flooding the panel essentially. I wanna flood all this off the paint. Boy, it's hard to tell if there's anything left because it's not dry yet, but just because I know this took a couple times last week on the bug, I'm gonna give a little bit more. Dwell time and agitation, that's the key here. But do not let it dry. Do not let it dry. Anything that isn't that emblem, I'm just gonna keep rinsing. But where I can leverage dwell time here, I will leverage dwell time.
Nick, does this technique work well for you, for other clients?
It works well for me. Ivan actually sent me a private message. He said, you're overusing the acid, you're asking for a whoopsie, right? And so I'm always got him in my ear because I know he's not trying to be the killer of fun. I know he's been doing this so long that he's always trying to mitigate against the big whoopsie, right? We teach a perfectly safe system that anybody can use and get great results. So I want you to be cautious with this acid. I don't want you to go willy-nilly with it. It's a pro level product, but it can work really well where sometimes it just feels like the Emblem residue, that sort of mineral buildup, never goes away. I think what we should do now is dry this and assess it before I try any more. So we've rinsed it with Rinseless. Effectively, we've neutralized it. We've wiped it off the paint. Let's go ahead and blow dry this and see what it looks like. So if I look up close, I think we're making progress, but I still see a lot around here now. Will it come off with a wipe now? Obviously I don't use my finger on paint, but we're getting closer, Eric, but I don't think we're there yet.
Well, from where I am back here, it looks terrific.
And this would be acceptable for most people, right? And if you're at home and it's acceptable to you, don't mess with it. But I just want to
see what you can do.
I just want to see. So Eric and I are spitballing here that it might be better to just choke down on one of these brushes. So find what you have. I asked Eric if we could sacrifice this. He was more than willing to oblige. This is a little bit more firm, right? So it gives me a lot more precision. Now, am I potentially scratching up the paint a little bit? Yeah, it's a soft boar's hair brush, potentially, right? So I don't want to use pressure. Of course, no one would see those scratches. Eric probably wouldn't either, or your customer, but that's the question, is like, what's the priority, right? Do I want that white residue gone? Do I want to inflict maybe some directional scratches here as I do this? So we're using no pressure. Obviously, this is very clean paint. I did a quick spritz of rinseless wash on these bristles before I brushed. Let's just see what that does. I'm gonna make sure the rest of this paint gets rinsed, and we'll rinse that too. We're making progress, Eric. I don't know what you can see on camera, but there's nothing into here. There's nothing into here. I see a little bit in the 4, in the A and around the A, around the T, and then into the C. But I think this brush is the solution. So I'm gonna make sure I just flush it to keep it clean. This is our 4th application. This might be crazy to some, but there's someone out there who's like, oh, I've wanted to do this. I could never get my emblems right. So we know that C has got a big issue. And I'm watching that other emblem to make sure it doesn't dry. What are your thoughts, Eric? You're the customer. Why don't you tell me what your priorities are?
Well, the car is 15 years old, so, and it's never been this good. So I would quit while you're ahead.
So you're okay with us just after this?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That is correct.
Okay, let's just do one more then and see where it leads us.
Sure.
This is one of those where Ivan would say, you're detailing for your own ego, not for the customer, right? I'm just like, how far can I take this? What, do I have superpower? Can I make something right that was wrong? Can I transform something even when my whole life is in disarray? I'm trying to create order out of chaos. That's kind of the old me coming through. Sounds like I need a therapist, Eric. But I just want to see, I just want to, for the love of the game, you know, can we get this? I mean, that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It looks fantastic.
I see a little bit around the T, a little bit around, but like, I'm saying 80% is a big win here. So, it can be done. We could have done 7 more rounds of this, but you're the customer, it's your car, you say we're good, yeah?
We are good.
All right, let's take a look at that. And then, I know it's still kind of wet, but take a look at that. I mean, that's a pretty clean emblem, isn't it? I can already see it through the reflection, Eric, and we haven't even decontaminated, polished, or coated yet. I think your Mercedes is gonna look phenomenal.
I do as well, thank you.
So we realize we've got rinseless wash drying on the paint, not a big deal. It's just gonna leave polymer spots. If you're really concerned about it, guess what? We're gonna polish anyway. So we're gonna have to apply more rinseless to the surface anyway, but we haven't done the wheels yet. So I was like, should we use some more iron remover? And we kind of came to this conclusion, let's just try and see what this looks like with just rinseless, because we've already done enough pre-application and rinsing. So I'm gonna take our wheel and body brush. This is just dedicated, Eric, for my wheel bucket. So that other one is just dedicated for paint. And this is just dedicated for wheels. And what we do, Eric, is we actually clean the faces first. So I'll happily put you to work if you want, otherwise I'll do it all myself. We clean the faces first. And the reason we do that is, let's say we cleaned a dirty barrel first. It would bring all that crud onto the face of your barrel, onto the face of your wheel, and then you'd use this and you'd drive it all in. So the whole idea is we're gonna do it safely. We're cleaning the face first, then the barrel gets cleaned, and any gunk that comes out from the barrel we rinse away. We're not agitating it into the face of the wheel. A really easy way to do barrels is start at midnight and always rotate so you're putting a clean side of your wheel and barrel brush, and you kind of go halfway down on one side, working top to bottom, letting all that crud flow down. Now you can probably get 2, maybe 3 sides on this brush before I redunk. And so I do that, and I'll start up here. That got real dirty, so we're getting actually quite good results on here. The barrels are coming out nice. That got real dirty. Boy, it's looking dirty enough. I'll just do 2 sides and redunk. A nice thorough clean. We are prepping these for ceramic coating, so we've got the barrels beautifully cleaned and the wheel faces very clean as well. Let's see, is your finger caught with any residue?
Nope.
Let's see. Oh yeah, those are real clean. When I clean my wheels at home, I don't usually clean this thoroughly, but I mean, those are coming up that's just the rinseless wash suds. So you saw how well we just cleaned. Look at all this residue that we still have to bring out of here. You can see it into here, that white chalky stuff. That's gonna come out real nice with the rinseless. So let's try that again. Okay, we're kind of lucky because we've had a lot of cloud cover. We've been able to kind of do this at our own pace, Eric. You can kind of come into the frame here, but now we just want to get rinseless back onto the paint. We want a bed of lubrication for the decontamination stage. So this is going to be iron remover combined with the decontamination towel to pluck any contaminants off the surface before we polish. Simple enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're not cleaning here. All you're doing is just distributing this. You just want a bed of lubrication. So however you get it on, there's no right or wrong way.
All right.
When you're done with the perfectly safe brush, by the way, Eric, it's just good to, you don't want to rest it on the ground, obviously. You don't want the bristles to get wet. So just find a spot in your garage or anywhere and just rest it like this. It does take a while to dry, so we'll just let that dry for a while. And we don't need that in our wash bucket, which has our decon towel, so I got that out of the way for us. So instead of spraying iron remover all over the car willy-nilly, wasting such an expensive product, we're gonna do 1 spray, Eric, on the towel, 1 on the panel, and with no pressure, we'll use our quad fold decontamination towel. So I'll give you the quad fold towel.
Thank you.
And Eric is such a dedicated fan of DIY, you actually have some iron remover. So you're familiar with the decon process?
No, why don't you talk to me about it?
So again, 1 spray of iron remover on the decon towel, 1 on the panel, and where you spray, you put the towel. And with no pressure at all, you just go over the surface. Do you hear that?
Yep.
And actually, see what you're doing with your hand? I recommend just flat, no pressure.
Okay.
So, no, get rid of your thumb.
Like
Yeah.
that.
We want no pressure at all. The whole idea of this towel is, it's in the rinseless wash bucket, so we have the bed of lubrication, but we want to eliminate pressure points. So if you put too much pressure on it, look what happens. We get all that squeeze of rinseless. So the whole thing is no pressure at all.
So it's more like a dragging.
No, I'd put my palm on it.
Okay.
So you want just enough. Yeah, and you kind of hear that?
Yes.
So just kind of keep going until you stop hearing the scratchy. And if you're like, ooh, where's the decontamination process putting this contamination, and you're worried about it, Ivan would never do this, but I'll say if you're ever worried, flip the side of the towel just for fun and try it again.
Okay.
And if you're just like, I just want a fresh side, I just feel better with a fresh side because it feels like a really contaminated panel, all you want to do is do a fresh side per panel, or a fresh side and then another fresh side on a panel, but you wouldn't ever want to reuse that side. So ideally you've got like 4 panels to work with.
Yep.
So after this, I'll actually flip this and I'll have 2 fresh sides of this towel. But it feels like, I don't know, can you hear and feel it still? It feels like it's going away.
No, on my side it is going away.
Yeah, it feels a lot smoother.
So in this case, less is more with the iron remover?
You know, I would just say less is more with the iron remover, but if you're ever worried, does my panel have enough lubrication? I would always add more rinseless wash, either with your legacy sponge in your bucket and just drip it on the panel, or I would just go ahead and spray some more rinseless on. Okay, we've got iron remover all over the surface. Now we're just gonna rinse it off and do water spot remover for that final decontamination step. So just after iron remover, let's take a look at the water beading on this paint. That's pretty good water behavior, Eric. What do you use to protect this after you wash it?
After I wash it, I use ceramic gloss.
Okay, so ceramic gloss is looking pretty nice on this. We're gonna hit this with water spot remover now, and I'm grateful the sun's finally coming out. We got an early start here. We started at about 8:30. We're leveraging morning where there's not a lot of sunlight. We're doing this smarter. That's how you do it mobile. That's how you do it in your driveway. Try not to do it in the middle of the day where sun is gonna kick your butt. So this is a great sign for us. The sun's out, so it's nice and warm. But at the same time, it's not so baking that everything is drying instantly on this paint. So Eric, now it's water spot remover.
Okay.
This does a pretty good job at water spot removal, but it's actually better as like a mineral cleanse. Think of it that way.
Okay.
We want to blanket the paint. We're then gonna use 2 rinseless wash dampened towels to agitate this in. Have you used water spot remover before?
I have not.
Okay, so it's just wide fans, and we're just trying to cover the paint. Now, if we miss a spot, we're gonna be agitating in later with a rinseless wash dampened towel to build in some redundancy. So I'll just do my half of the ride. I don't need to, but I can get these wheels again. I know we hit it with acid, and I know this has some lactic acid in it, so we probably don't need to hit the wheels with this again, but go ahead and just start. We just want to distribute this everywhere on the paint if you can. And you can't do it wrong.
So Nick, can I use this in the winter when the car is covered in snow and ice?
Well, you'd want to wash first.
Correct.
So wash, and then you'd use your iron remover like we did and rinse. You got clean wet paint, then you can use the water spot remover. This is a decontamination step you could do on a coated car. You're not gonna hurt the coating here. And then the way I do it, now if you're in a rush, you could just spray on the water spot remover, let it dwell and rinse.
Okay.
If you're not coating afterwards, if you're not worried about it being a perfect job, you can go ahead and do it that way. But here, I've got a rinseless wash dampened towel, and you actually want it pretty dang damp, or pretty dang dry. You want it no longer dripping, because you're just gonna make your life harder. And this is the jobber towel from the House of Rags. It's got 2 different sides, whichever you prefer. I sometimes just want a short nap towel, so I'll fold to just the short nap side. Make sure it's clean, and then you never have to flip this again. So, normally in detailing, what do?
We flip
We're always flipping the towel.
Yes, trying to get a dry side.
Yep. Or maybe it's dirty, so we want to get a clean side. A clean or dry, right? Here, we actually just want to keep spreading the water spot remover into the paint. And we've done such a thorough job of cleaning so far that nothing should be coming up on our towel. Now, if something does come up on our towel, that means we didn't clean as well. That's on us, not the end of the world. You can flip it again. But hopefully, you've done such a good job of cleaning, it's not necessary to flip your side. But I noticed around the emblems, I got a little black. I'm like, okay. I could have done a better job cleaning there. I'll flip my side. We're just wanting to work the water spot remover in, that's all. Nothing fancy about this. Just about redundancy, agitation, deep cleaning. When we're done with this towel, we'll actually keep it separate. We don't want to put it back in our rinseless wash bucket.
Okay.
Because the water spot remover, kind of the lactic acid, it can mess up your legacy sponge or it can mess up your decon towel. You never want to use water spot remover with either of those. So we'll just rinse these off separately and then go ahead and launder as usual.
Okay.
Time for the final rinse after water spot remover. I want to get a close up. What does the beading look like on this hood? Those are some pretty dang good beads. I mean, water spot remover showing us what we have on this paint. Obviously the rinseless wash in there is giving it a little bit of sudsing action, but ceramic gloss performing well. We're gonna obviously ceramic coat this. So we've deeply cleaned it. We've restored some of the water beading. Just gives you a sense of what this paint had at its foundation. And we'll just rinse off from here. Okay, Eric, now we're gonna dry the car. We're not using a drying aid, and yet after using water spot remover, it is so easy to dry. I don't know if you noticed that at all. Like, the paint becomes so silky smooth when we use water spot remover. Like, properly decontaminated paint dries like a breeze. Do you feel it?
Yep. No grabbing at all.
Now, you asked about laundering the drying blanket.
Correct.
If I'm using ceramic gloss, anything that might clog up my towel, I'm gonna try to launder it ASAP.
Okay.
So often we say you can put your ceramic gloss or your coating towels in your wash bucket and just soak them and then launder. That works great too. Or if you're just at home, just launder after you've done the detail. Because I find that if I put my drying blanket in my wash bucket, then I've got an incredibly wet towel that I'm like dripping into the house. As long as you're using it and then you're gonna go ahead and launder it right after or in the next hour or so, I think you're fine. But safest bet after a ceramic coating or using a protection product as a drying aid is just wash the towel after. But yeah, the drying blanket, an amazing towel. No need to overthink it. Just launder when you're done. Talk to me as you're drying, Eric. How do you like the drying blanket?
I love it. Probably need to get two.
Well, you can never have enough.
Never have enough.
In detailing. You see it's a little wet into there. I'll just get into there. We're probably gonna put the drip catcher towel
under there?
Under these mirrors because they're gonna drip forever. That front grille is gonna drip forever. This is a good time to blow off the car and then maybe take a lunch break because we're gonna polish and ceramic coat. I mean, this thing already looks amazing.
Yes.
I love how we coated the bug and that looks phenomenal in the sun, but you have a canvas, right? You can only do so much with your canvas. Obviously this Mercedes is a pretty sweet ride, so it's already just, you know, just a little nicer canvas, I would say. Eric is a proper detailer. You're doing the door jambs and everything?
I use the cheap towels because it really doesn't matter. But I do get a lot of, and I usually leave that one on the end there because, as you can see, the driveway is sloped, so everything comes down here.
Oh, there's a method to what you're doing, I see.
So that way I don't have to come back and do it again. And I usually use a little rinseless wash on the inside.
You do rinseless wash on the door jambs?
Right on the, yes.
Yep. This is a deep dive wash. This is all the way down the rabbit hole. We used acid, we used iron remover, we used water spot remover. The owner of the car is stoked. We still gotta put some tire lotion on these tires, put some ceramic coating on those rims, but that comes later. Folks, if you enjoyed this video, remember, you can save 10% at thehouseofrags.com with promo code NickAtNight. Please subscribe to the channel, give this a like, and click on this video right here.